Barb Ondrusek joins me now with sports. And Barb, those Blue Jays are surprising birds, aren't they?
Yes, Ginny, nobody predicted this kind of start at all. The Toronto Blue Jays opened with 2 wins over Oakland. Tonight they began a weekend series in Cleveland. The Indians 0-2, losing twice to the New York Yankees. Juan Guzman starting for Toronto, Oro Hershiser for the Tribe. First inning, Hershiser with the wild pitch to John Olerud. Otis Nixon reacts, brings in the first run of the game. Up 2-0 now. Carlos Delgado right up the middle scores. Joe Carter 3-zip after 1. It is a cold night at Jacobs Field. Just ask Omar Vizquel, all bundled up at short. Hey, so are the fans, young and old. Ever cute. Cito Gaston looks a little chilly, managing his 1,000th Blue Jay game. One of the best plays of the night, Joe Carter. He stays with it, stays with the ball, dives, robbing Jim Thome. Now keep an eye on Ed Sprague this season. He had a great preseason, sails this one down the third base line, brings in Big Joe to make it 4-0. Top of the 8th, Sprague launches this Embry offering over the wall. It is a home run, 6-0 Blue Jays. Toronto wins at 7-1 over Cleveland. Guzman turned in an impressive outing. He shut out the Indians over the first 7 innings. Jays improved to 3-0, so the Jays have 2 more in Cleveland. And their home opener is Tuesday, mark it down, April 9th against the California Angels right here on CBC. And it was a sad day for baseball. More than 1,000 mourners paid their last respects at the funeral for veteran Major League umpire John McSherry. Players, baseball officials, umpires, and more friends were in New York City this afternoon to say goodbye. It was a very emotional day for Major League Baseball. Friends still in shock over the death of the 51-year-old umpire who collapsed during an opening day game in Cincinnati. John McSherry died less than an hour later because of heart disease. At the funeral, his friends called the 25-year veteran the ideal umpire, a big man with a big voice, a gregarious colleague with an unsurpassed love of baseball.
He was one of the few people that got to live his dream. You know, he always wanted to be a Major League umpire, and he became a crew chief and went right to the top.
A super good guy, straight up, honest, helpful, just a decent human being.
John McSherry was buried at the Gates of Heaven Cemetery, where both Babe Ruth and Billy Martin are also buried. On to hockey now. New York Rangers captain Mark Messier didn't play in tonight's home game against Philadelphia. Messier suffered bruised rib cartilage during yesterday's 4-1 loss in Philly. The Flyers trail idle Pittsburgh by 1 point in the chase for the top Eastern Conference record. The Rangers trail the Flyers by 3 points in the Atlantic Division. Flyers on the power play. Rod Brindamore fakes, then uses the left-hand shot to beat Mike Richter 1-0. The injured Mark Messier chatting up recent Oscar winner Susan Sarandon and son at the game. 20 seconds left in the second period. Brian Leach ties things up, gets the standing ovation from his captain here. Flyers get stupid then. Already 2 men short. Eric Lindros dirty whack to the back of Bruce Driver. Lindros joins his 2 teammates. The Rangers go to work then. Puck makes its way to Pat Verbeek, beats Ron Hextall. He is upset, and Luc Robitaille puts in another to make it 3-1 New York over Philadelphia. 4 wins in a row for Richter, a big win for him and the Rangers tonight. They snapped the Flyers' 7-game winning streak. New York just 1 point behind Philly for top spot in the Atlantic Division, 2 points out of top spot in the entire Eastern Conference. The Sabres edged the Lightning. Pat LaFontaine had a goal and 2 assists. Buffalo's already out of the playoffs. Tampa Bay stays in 8th spot in the East. Ottawa doubled the Islanders in a meaningless game. The Blackhawks gearing up for the playoffs. They're already clinched 3rd seed in the Western Conference. Score right now has Dallas up 2-1 in the 3rd period. And the Mighty Ducks hope to keep their playoff hopes alive, while the Red Wings aim to snap out of a mini slump. No score early on. The Toronto Maple Leafs hosting the St. Louis Blues tomorrow night right here on CBC. The Blues minus a whole whack of players. Grant Fuhr, Brett Hull, Shane Corson, all nursing various injuries. Well, add Wayne Gretzky to that list. He's gone for, it has been confirmed, 7 to 10 days after Doug Gilmour dumped him to the ice. It was a clean check, though, in the first period of last night's game in St. Louis. Doctors are calling it a deep bone bruise in the back. Toronto went on to win the game 3-1. Leafs now 2 points behind St. Louis for 4th place in the Western Conference and home ice advantage for the first round of the playoffs. Some scores to tell you now from the NBA. Bulls were easy winners over the Hornets. The victory, though, was overshadowed. It overshadowed a historic night for Charlotte center Robert Parrish. He played his 1,560th game, tying him with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for most games played. Over New Jersey, Hawks over the Nets. Pistons beat the 76ers. Knicks 86-79 winners over the Bucks, and the Bullets outshot the Spurs. The Toronto Raptors off until tomorrow night when they host the New York Knicks at Skydome. The Raptors coming off one of their worst losses of the season yesterday. That's thanks to the injury bug. They were minus their star rookie, Damon Stoudemire. He's out for at least a week with severe tendonitis in his knee. Toronto was also minus Oliver Miller, Jean Tabak, and Sharon Wright. Now, don't expect much from the Raptors. They just don't have the player power. Still, some of the guys are taking the positive line.
Those are fun games to play in, fun to play against the Knicks here in our building. And with the players that we have available, we're going to go out and compete as hard as we can, and hopefully we can have success Saturday winning the game. I just think that it's an excellent opportunity for guys that haven't had the opportunity to play quality minutes, to play against a team such as New York with the players that they have on their roster, giving the young players opportunity to play and get quality minutes. They get a chance to showcase their talent, and that's what it's all about. It's a challenge.
With these injuries, we have an opportunity to see the people that many people want to see play and evaluate.
And they are expecting a big turnout tomorrow night at Skydome. In closing, FloJo, remember her? She has been released from a St. Louis hospital. The Olympic gold medalist suffered a seizure yesterday on an airplane. Doctors, though, say that Florence Griffith-Joyner is doing just fine, but she's going to have to rest. And that is my wrap on sports, and I'd like to wish everybody a very happy Easter and a happy and healthy Passover. Jeannie.
Thanks very much, Barb. But before you go, tell us what FloJo's been up to before this injury.
Yeah, well, she still hosts some special track events, and she does still occasionally run in some events. She's still keeping in good shape, but she's going to have to take it easy for a little while, doctors are going to say. They said at least for a week she's just going to have to rest.
Great. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
If you're planning an Easter egg hunt this Sunday, make sure the eggs are brightly painted because white ones will be very hard to find. Windsor turns cloudy tomorrow with flurries likely and the high +1. Snow is in the picture Sunday with a high of +1 as well. Toronto should get some sun tomorrow morning, but clouds move in during the afternoon. Expect a high of +2. Sunday should be cloudy with snow and the high continues at +2. Ottawa gets a partly sunny day tomorrow with a high of +3. And on Sunday, it may escape the snow with showers instead. Look for a high of +4 in Ottawa. And in keeping with this Easter weekend, John Northcott's got some hoppy news in his entertainment package, don't you, John?
Yes, Jeannie, it brings back an era of big bands, waxed ballroom floors, zoot suits. It's exciting, and at the time it was scandalous. We'll tell you what it is and why it's on the way back in entertainment after this.
I'd like to be like my dad. I'd like to be an egg farmer.
Mike Hart, egg farmer, Southern Alberta. I think eggs are just the greatest. I'm a third-generation eggman. They can be used so many ways.
Deviled eggs, fried eggs, poached eggs.
They're a good, quick food.
Pickled eggs.
Something you can just pick up on the run.
Omelets.
They've got to be one of the most versatile food products there is.
Fried eggs. Did I say that one?
I like my eggs any way I can get them, preferably cooked. Sorry.
Icebergs drift south. Humpbacks migrate to the north. This is the place where their paths cross. They say you can't see the icebergs for whales. Imagine that.
Let's compare car dealers with Canadian Tire. They have licensed trained technicians. We have licensed trained technicians. They have high-tech equipment. So do we. They have nationwide guarantees. We have nationwide guarantees. They have high prices. Okay? There is one thing they have that we don't. Canadian Tire. Everyday low prices. Made better.
Swiss Chalet proudly presents the Spring Quartet. Right now, enjoy our delicious rotisserie quarter chicken served in perfect harmony with freshly tossed Caesar salad in creamy garlic dressing, scrumptious garlic bread, and of particular note, our famous Chalet sauce. All to the popular tune of just $6.45. The Spring Quartet. Doesn't that sound delicious?
houses of yellow, lime, aqua, and blue. And the world's most friendly folk, as proud to show their true colors as the street they call Jelly Bean Road. Imagine that.
Well, they started doing it 70 years ago, and this weekend, somewhere in Toronto, dozens of people are doing it again, over and over. John Northcott, what an intriguing introduction.
Oh, you wrote it. Yes, Jeannie, it's exciting, it's outrageous, and you have to get up out of your chair to do it.
It's got energy. It's sexy. It's a blast with a pass. The Lindy Hop, a dance, legend has it, that was first performed at the Savoy Ballroom in Harlem in the late 1920s, named after Charles Lindbergh's solo flight, or hop, across the Atlantic Ocean.
Any dance, you know, is very special. But Lindy in its own right, I think, attracts so many people. Young and old.
In fact, Steve's dance partner is 19 years old. She's Anna Sandejo from Sweden and is the current Lindy Hop world champion. After raging with the big band sounds of the 30s and 40s, the Lindy Hop put its feet up for a while. The big ballrooms closed in the face of rock and roll. And now it's coming back. Instructors like Steve Mitchell have tracked down the almost countless Lindy Hop steps through old movies, photographs, and contacting some of the surviving original Lindy Hop dancers. This get-together is a weekend-long event featuring Lindy Hop instruction and demonstrations.
It's quite exciting. It's really into the ground, which is something that we both enjoy. You know, instead of up and you know, upright, it's really down and low and funky.
You know, you have a lot of the you know, street kids doing the hip-hop, you know, kind of dance, MTV video, and you think that you're discovering these rhythms, but these rhythms have been around for quite a long time.
The only purpose for this dance is to have fun. It's not like you're going out there and you're trying to look so good to impress anybody. You're just trying to have fun with your partner.
And if you can't have fun with your partner, what's the sense of getting up on the dance floor in the first place?
And these dance halls are sometimes in the most obscure places. This one, the Westway Club, is actually in sort of an industrial mall out in Etobicoke. Jeannie, that's it for entertainment.
Now, John, something tells me that the Lindy Hop has earlier roots than the Savoy.
I think so, and Steve Mitchell, the instructor, has a theory about that. He thinks it goes all the way back to New Orleans, probably the turn of the century or even before, and it wasn't until it got to New York that it got the media hype in the 20s and 30s.
Thanks very much. Happy Easter.
Okay.
Happy Easter.
Yes, okay, you too.
And that's our show for tonight. Thanks for watching. Now, your teeth may be bracing for the onslaught of lots of Easter chocolate this weekend. Here's an early hit of sugar for you. It's a really big cookie in the works. In fact, the Australian bakers who are whipping this one up think it's the world's biggest chocolate chip cookie. The cooks are jealously guarding the recipe, but it's believed you need 1 billion kilograms of flour, a zillion chocolate chips, enough eggs to harden every artery in Australia, and more sugar than Cuba has to put it all together. My fillings hurt already. Good night.
Introducing the 1997 Acura CL. Acura, designed with purpose, driven by passion.
Jordan joined in Kitchener. Monaco moved to Hamilton. Ty landed a job in Windsor. While Turk found work in Mississauga. Holland is happiest in Burlington. And the French live life in Kincardine. Also Oshawa and Oakville. just 8 of 25,000 certified general accountants. We're the name brand for business in Canada.
It's Easter time, and Leon's realizes that you can't hide eggs without home furnishings. Well, you can, but the hunt doesn't last too long. So Leon's is having an Easter egg extravaganza. Our superstores have thousands of great egg hiding places at the lowest prices guaranteed. And this is the extravaganza part. You don't pay for 1 whole year, or take up to 2 years to pay with interest-free monthly payments. Leon's Easter egg extravaganza ends Easter Monday. That's not an egg, that's our logo.
Saturday's project day.
My day to get things done. Canadian Tire always has what I need to get the job done. Right?
Right. I find things easier there.
Than in my own garage.
It's not just a store.
It's my store, with my brands. My dad always said, if you're gonna do something, do it right. And then he went right to Canadian Tire.
My store has always had everyday low prices. That's good.
Everyday low prices on my favorite brands. That's better.
Canadian Tire. Everyday low prices made better.
What Ontario thinks of the Harris government, Tuesday on the CBC Evening News.